and our motivational spirit day. Okay, so we want to keep this thing going. We want to keep you guys motivated. We want to keep you pumped up. We want to have some excitement in the room today. So this is all about motivational, inspirational Toastmaster day today. So we already did go through the roles, so I want to go ahead and have everybody introduce themselves. As far as the counter, we'll get that, together. If we can, just be conscious of how many times you use oh, so, and filler words. So you guys just kind of keep your mind adjust to that. The grammarian, we already have the word of the day. It is didactic.
Didactic. We need the meaning of didactic so people can use it properly.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, thank you. So what just happened? Mimi is working on putting that together for us, so thank you. At this point, bear with me. So I'm trying to get these. The general evaluator is Arturo. You want to go ahead and we'll go ahead and let me go ahead and back up. I do apologize. So I'm just going to go ahead and have everybody describe their word or their role for the day. Thank you. So, we have the timer. Ms. Janet Sellers, queen of everything. Please describe what you'll be doing for us today.
Today, I will be timing the speakers, and unless they tell me differently, our timings will be 5 to 7 minutes. I have this handy dandy timer on my phone, and I'll be holding that up. When you see the 5 minutes green, that means you could stop if you want. You see yellow, it means you better start wrapping it up, and the red means wrap it up now or you're going over. All of that said, these important things about timings help us to be on target, on time, and powerfully aware of our time with our audience. Thank you.
Awesome. Madam Timer, if you will, I did get a request from Mimi, the motivator, requesting that we allow her 8 to 10 minutes for her speech. Is that okay with you?
Oh, that's fine. I just need to adjust it because these things have their own amounts, and I will change that time for her. I will edit that right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And welcome, Miss Marilyn J. Thank you for tuning in. Also, our general evaluator today is Arturo Rubio. Will you please describe to us what you'll be doing for us today, sir?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I do look forward to a didactic meeting. So, fellow Toastmasters, the purpose of the general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. I will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duties. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Okay, and so we have just assigned Miss Merlin J is in the house. She is going to be our counter. Miss Merlin J, would you like to go ahead and unmute yourself and let us know what you'll be doing for us today?
Well, hello, fellow Toastmasters. Well, I'll say that I have first off been voluntold to be the counter. That's all right. I follow instructions when I want, so today is one of those days. So as your counter, I will be looking out for ahs, pauses, that kind of thing in your speech. I'll be tallying them up and giving you a report at the end of the meeting. I'll do my best.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, it is my duty to go ahead and introduce the first evaluator, which we have not assigned. My apologies. If somebody can assist me of how I'm going to go about this measure.
We're going to do a round robin when we don't have the evaluators. So the way you run that is that you will have each at the end during the evaluation portion of the meeting. It's off your plate and on Arturo's plate to go to each person to have them evaluate.
Fair enough. Thank you, queen of everything. I love that. I'm just gonna spoil you with that word. Okay, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get this party started. We have our first speaker today, which is Shanita Lynn. Shanita Lynn, hold on, I am looking for her introduction.
While you're looking for her introduction, I'll read what her speech project is about. I can help with that. So I just typed it in the chat box or pasted it in the chat box. So she is working from the dynamic leadership path in Pathways, and this is speech number 7, connect with your audience. The project focuses on different audience type and how to address them effectively. So we will be looking for her to connect with us.
Thank you. What I'm understanding here is the introduction is Shanita Lynn, our best friend, is at the National Museum of African American Music, and she always shows up for us. She's here today and will motivate you to travel to a great city, and hopefully you'll visit it soon. Shanita Lynn, take it away, my friend.
Hello, Toastmaster family. I am here to encourage and share my visit to Nashville, Tennessee. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Yes, the flight was great. And I even met a very special friend on my flight. I always look forward to that. And it's something that I encourage that people do. Make new friends, like I always tell people, there's 3 types of friends: your confidant, your constituent, and your comrade. Just make boundaries and you can have friends all around the world. But today, I just want to show you the entrance of the National Museum of American Music. This building is so awesome. It is a tribute to Black music, to African American music. So awesome. I have definitely enjoyed my visit here. I want everybody to make sure that they look at their schedules for the year and decide, where are you going to go? Where are you going to travel to this year? What museums will you visit? So just to give you a taste of the National Museum of African American Music, the theme of this beautiful museum is One Nation Under a Groove. This hallway is a tribute to the music, the talent that has come out of the Black community. I am so proud to represent my culture. I love to sing, so this is very, very special for me. Also, there's so many people here today. And when you go right in, you get to see a wonderful presentation. It's very short, but very quick, very awesome presentation. And when you go through, I know I was so proud. I'm so proud to be here today. It's really increasing my appreciation for the Black culture, just to see how they put this together. It's so full of history, from taking music all the way from the times of slavery, when we came over on ships, and focusing on the instruments that we use in our music, starting with drums, and just really showing us how we've gotten to the music that we enjoy today. And just to give you another sample of how everything is so brilliantly set up, it's a awesome display of all of the successes and all of the work that African Americans have put into all the different genres of music that we have today, from jazz, blues. You have interactive activities, like you can even sing a gospel tune with a actual choral group, and you're able to record all of that information. They actually take your email and all of the things that you interactively share in, you're able to send those things to your email and have those as a record of your visit here. I'm so excited to be here. I'm just so glad that I was able to share this with you today. And even though I'm on a semi-vacation, but I just can't miss a meeting. If I have an opportunity to be with my Toastmasters family, I take it. But thank you for the opportunity to share this with you guys. And I appreciate you giving me your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Shanita Lynn, my friend. If you can, Madam Timer, can you give us 1 minute so we can go ahead and rate Miss Shanita?
There's your minute-ish.
Thank you. Time is up, guys. Thank you, guys. So next we have coming on stage is Miss Jamia Wells Palmer with Wealth Secrets and Old Texts. Miss Jamia will be having a 8 to 10 minute speech today. Yeah, it will be 8 to 10 minutes today. So Madam Timer will be keeping an eye on that. And I have here that the speech is about research and present, an unfamiliar topic. Well, it's research and present an unfamiliar topic. Also, to organize the speech clearly, she's looking to maximize the audience understanding, craft clear and engaging transitions between main sections of her speech. Also, she's looking to use and cite sources to support speech content, and also to make a source list available. So if you guys want to help us to keep tabs on that, and I'm going to go ahead and give it away. Mimi the Motivator, bring it on.
I can't hear Mimi. I don't know about you guys. Not yet. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
See.
All right. Thank you so very much. So
today's project, I was challenged with doing some research, which, if you know me, that's what I do every day. So I had to decide, well, what am I going to research today? And what am I going to present? Well, I have some things that I'm working on in my non-Toastmasters life that I needed some extra information for. So, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, thank you so much for giving me your attention today. It says, when you have eaten and are satisfied, praise the Lord your God for the good land he has given you. Be careful that you do not forget the Lord your God, failing to observe his commands, his laws, and his decrees that I am giving you this day. Otherwise, when you eat and are satisfied, you will build fine houses and settle down. And when your herd and flocks grow large and your silver and gold increase, and all you have is multiplied, then your heart will become proud and you will forget your Lord, the God, who brought you out of Egypt and out of the land of slavery. He led you through the vast and the dreadful wilderness, that thirsty and waterless land, and with its venomous snakes and scorpions. He brought you water out of a hard rock. He gave you manna to eat in the wilderness, something your ancestors had never known, to humble and test you so that in the end, it might go well with you. You may say to yourself, my power and strength of my hands produce this wealth for me. But remember, the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to your ancestors as it is today. That is Deuteronomy chapter 8, verses 12 through 18. I found this scripture on the hunt for the secrets that the Jewish folks use. Because what I know in my studies of generational wealth, they have a long-standing record for building generational wealth and community wealth. Their money stays in the community way longer than anybody else. And so I wanted to know, well, what do they know? What are they studying? And what are they teaching that keeps them on this path? And that's where I got that, Deuteronomy. So some other things that I came across on a YouTube video, and I wish I could say the words in the Jewish tongue with the, but I practiced and it didn't go so well. So I figured I'd just give you the Mimi translation. So in that, the first thing that caught my attention is it says that they received from generations earlier, which means that it is your job to pass money on so your next generations will receive money from generations earlier. The next thing that stood out to me is that it said to have a mentor, to have a rabbi, to have a teacher, to not think that you know it all, which took me back to a scripture that I always have heard but never have thought about in regards to wealth, which is lean not onto your understanding. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's why we need a mentor. That's why most millionaires have a mentor. And not even just a mentor, but to be around other people who know the things that you don't know. Let's just think about the president. The president usually typically doesn't know too much at all, but he has a cabinet of folks who knows the know. So lean not onto your own understanding. Don't expect to know everything yourself. Don't expect to understand everything yourself. Form yourself a tribe, a village, a team of people, so that way together, y'all know almost all of it. So the other thing that stuck out to me was to buy yourself a friend. Now, at first I was like, wait a minute, buy myself a friend? So the first thing that came to mind was more along the lines of mentorship, because I know these days people are buying into mentorship programs and they're buying into group coaching programs. And the reason is because then you are around a community of people who are working towards what you are working towards. They have a vision similar to yours, so that way you don't sound crazy. You'll have people who are supporting you and who can hold you accountable. That's what I heard. Buy yourself a friend. And what the scripture further goes on to say basically is to have someone who can give you good advice and that can keep you out of trouble. Somebody that can say, sister, don't go that way. Or listen, sir, that's probably not the best thing to say or to do. A real friend lets you know. Fake friends just tell you what you want to hear and pat you on the back and just, always cheery, probably. A real friend will say, listen, we need to have a come to Jesus meeting. So be sure that you are surrounding yourself with people who will have a come to Jesus meeting with you. So back to the regular, smegular scriptures that I typically look upon when I am talking about like wealth secrets in the Bible. This is the biggest one, and this is the easiest one. Write this down. Ask and you shall receive. I mean, that's the easiest one. It is the easiest one. Ask. Make the ask. It says that you have not because you ask not. How many of us have not been bold enough to really request from the universe what we desire? Or to really request more payment from our clients? Ask and you shall receive. So what I believe is that I'm going to get what I asked for or something better. So sometimes we don't get what we asked for, and sometimes we probably don't want to get everything that we asked for, because if it really came, we'd be like, oh. Have you ever gotten something that you asked for and want to send it back or send him back or send her back? Yeah, you're like, can I get a refund, please? Check, please. So we are learning not to lean onto our own understanding. That we need to have a mentor, a teacher, someone who knows more than we know, to surround ourselves with people who are on the same track and they're going to keep us out of negative situations or even out of negative conversation. Because even in the Chinese text, it says to avoid negative environments, to avoid negativity. That's one of their wealth secrets. And I say, because of like in metaphysics world, is that when you're happy, you get love and money. When you're sad, those things go away. So if you want to increase your income, get happy, start feeling good, and start making other people possibly feel good and spread some of that happiness around, that abundance around, because wealth is not just money. And then my last scripture is the one that I did not have to look up, because it is one that I learned and it really surprised me. And I found this one about 15 years ago. And it said that it is the Lord's blessing that brings wealth, and there is no effort that can substitute for it. That's Proverbs 10:22. And it resonated with me so hard because I saw people who worked hard. Do you know somebody who works hard and has slaved hard and they still are not rich and they still are broke and struggling, but they work hard though, and they work a lot of hours? So they let me know that it's not our effort that brings the blessing. And like the scripture that I began with, remember that it is not you who is producing the money. You definitely not making the money unless you work in the mint. But it is the Lord's blessing. It is the universe. It is the divine something that is in you, that breathes for you, that moves as you, that is bringing your increase. So if you want to increase more, get tapped into that more. And what I always tell my audience is meditate. Meditation brings money. Who knew? I am Jamia Wells Palmer. I am Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's favorite motivator, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Mimi the Motivator. Now it is time, if you will, to go on and jump into. Actually, can I get a minute, Madam Timer, if we can, so that we can go ahead and rate Mimi the Motivator? Thank you.
Time's up.
Thank you, thank you. 1 second. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you for that. So now it is time to go ahead and do table topics. Madam Timer, do we have enough time for table topics? How are we looking on time?
Oh, you got you have tons of time. Do whatever you like.
Okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity to be your table topic master for today, okay? So I want to go ahead, since we are talking about motivational spirit. All of you guys are giving speeches that's really motivating me at this time, but I'm going to go ahead and go around and ask a few people to participate. I'm going to start with Miss Marilyn J. Marilyn J., are you there? Awesome. So one of the topics that I have for you is, would you please give us a brief description on what motivation means to you and why?
All righty. Well, thank you, Toast/Table Topic Master. What motivation means to me is when I think of motivation in my head, like if I picture motivation, I think of a person jumping up out of their seat and like running and taking off and moving fast and going. So that's the picture that I imagine in my head of motivation. When I think of motivation in reference to verbal content, I think of a person standing on a stage and speaking loud and being boisterous and moving their body and getting people excited and moving a crowd. So I have the way that I think of it in physical form, the way I think of it in a verbal form, and in the form of my life, the way that I choose to motivate people and give them the opportunity to enjoy life, to be in a place where they're happy and they're feeling good, is I do that through comedy and posting and just changing people's chemicals on the inside. When you smile, when you laugh, when you do feel motivated, it's something great chemically going on in the inside of your body. And those chemicals pour out of your pores and they just pour out of your mouth and your spirit and your body, and you're living a good life. So that is what motivation is to me in a number of ways. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Marilyn J. I really, really appreciate that. So you guys go ahead and take your mental notes. We will be asking for votes at the end. We're going to go ahead and in less than or 2 minutes or less, I'm going to go ahead and go to Mr. Arturo, if you will. Mr. Arturo, name one person that has motivated you throughout your lifetime, and how did they do so?
I would say one person, I would just say my dad. My dad has always been a very good motivating person ever since I was a little kid. My mom was actually more harder on me than my dad. My dad was a lot more lenient towards me. And he always encouraged me. I was very fortunate because he was a big cheerleader for me. And always wanted to give me support, always give me encouragement, and always given me life lessons and life lessons of, hey, son, always remember this, always have a good work ethic, always work hard, always show up on time, just life lessons. And he always repeated it. It often got really annoying because he just kept repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. And throughout like elementary and middle school and high school. And even still, when I talk to him, he's like, hey, don't forget this, this, and that. I'm like, yes, Dad, you've been telling me this my whole life. I know. So I'd say he's been a great influence in my life. And I'm very thankful to have because I know not everybody is fortunate to have that. My dad was not perfect, but he did a great job with what he knew. With what he knew, what a good father would do, is supposed to do. So I give credit to my dad. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Art. Really appreciate that. Okay, and I have room for one more. So I'm going to go ahead and can I call on Madam President or not? Would that be okay?
Yeah, you can call on her if she wants to do it. She gave a talk already.
Okay, well, yeah, the house is kind of limited. So if you will, Madam President, I'm going to ask you a question of the table topics. So can you please share what daily tasks that you do to jumpstart your motivational day?
Well, thank you for that. I have a couple things that I do. First of all, I get up and let the dog out. The dog doesn't let me sleep in, so the things that I have to do, and that's usually about 4:30 or 4:45. The other thing that I do is I have a cup of coffee for myself and with myself, and I've done that even when my kids were tiny. Before they got up, I would have my own cup of coffee or cup of tea to start my day and think through. Even before I say my morning prayers, I have that moment with myself to kind of feel my way through my feelings and my day. And each day, I have to say that that helps me out with the sense of I can make a plan, I can get something done. And for whatever reason, I always feel like I need to get something done. And I make a list. And after my kids moved out and went to college, I had so much need to have purpose because they overwhelmed my whole life with taking care of them. And I decided that I would have to do things on my own and for me. So I pick something every morning, and usually it's that cup of coffee or cup of something that's just for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. Okay, so moving right along, guys, if you want to give like another minute to go ahead and rate your favorite table topic and shoot me inbox letting me know who you will decide on, that would be amazing. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our general evaluator for today, Mr. Arturo Rubio. Sorry about that. Please come to the stage.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So far, it has been a didactic meeting like I anticipated. So it looks like we are going to start with our round of evaluations. Is that correct, Janet and Mimi? Looks like, and then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you would call on the evaluators and then the people with their roles, because they'll finish their roles up in case people have ums and ers and things like that. And timing, I'll be timing the different ones. I don't think I'm going to time the evaluators. I think it's 1 minute, and I'll let you know when 1 minute happens.
Sounds good. And then I will introduce we'll talk about the functionaries at the end. So our first speaker was Ms. Shanita Lynn. Can I initiate the feedback? All right, so I will start out with my feedback, what I have here. Ms. Shanita Lynn, your speech was very didactic today. Great enthusiasm. I like how you connect your trip with your speech. That's very unique. We don't often get a treat like that. I like how you were walking and speaking. It was very captivating. And I almost felt like I was right there with you. You were walking around. I was like, wait, what does that say? What does that? That's a really cool background. I like that. I like your introduction. It said, hey, I knew what you were going to talk about. So I liked your introduction. I would say one recommendation is I would like a few more specific facts about the history. I would just like a little bit more facts, like, hey, this right here, we're in this area right here, this so happened. So thank you. And that's my feedback. I would say the next person to Go ahead. I'm done with my evaluation. The next person to evaluate, I would say Miss Kim, if you could evaluate Shanita's speech, please.
Awesome. Thank you, Art. I'll go ahead and piggyback off of what you just said. I was thinking the same thing, Art. I love the way Shanita Lynn, my friend, made me feel even more of a friend because she took me on this personal journey and this trip with her. So thank you for being my friend. I really love the way that you were able to capture the moment in the museum and bring us alongside of you. And not only that, you were our personal tour guide for today. So I want to thank you for that. We could hear you loud and clear. I love your visualization. So thank you. It didn't cost me a dime. The plane flight was free. Being in the museum was free. So thank you again for being my friend and saving me some bucks and taking me along that ride with you. So that's what I have there for you, Shanita Lynn, my friend. Thank you. Keep up the good work, sis.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Our next evaluator is going to be Miss Janet.
Thank you. Shanita Lynn, your friend, thank you for that tour. I concur with the other evaluators that I would have loved a sense of cohesion with your sharing of your wonderful experience. I wasn't sure where we were going with it. And even in a talk, when you're giving something about where you are, if you could start, have a middle and a finish, that would be awesome, because then I would feel like I can track what we're doing together. But I did feel like I was with you and that we were together in that place. And I thank you for that. Have a splendid time on your trip. And we look forward to when you get back, but you're with us right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Janet. Our next evaluator will be Miss Marilyn J.
All right, thank you. So first I'll say a couple of great things was your enthusiasm, your passion, and your excitement for where you're at and being able to give the speech. I think that was awesome. I like how the way, like you said, you incorporated being on vacation with being present. So I was like, oh, okay, a little motivation there. No matter what she's doing, she's still showing up and she's being present. So I commend you for that, girlfriend. And I think you did a great job at being a tour guide. You know, you could have been enjoying your vacation, but you showed up and you tied it all together. You did a great job. And I was like, oh, for real? Okay. All right. Yeah, I want to go there. Okay. I see that. So I think you did a great job at pulling us in and making us want to know more and be more interested so we can do it on our own and support that museum. So a shout out to you for that. And yeah, that's all I have for you right now.
Thank you, Miss Marilyn. Marilyn J. Our next evaluator will be Mimi.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. So Shanita, you have a natural personality. And when I say personality, I don't mean like your personality, but like a media type of personality, like somebody that shows up on camera. I really felt like it was almost like a television show or something. You know, I live on YouTube. So I was like watching YouTube. I was going with you, like everybody said. What I noticed is after your speech, you showed us more artwork and more of the museum than on your speech. So it was distracting a little bit. So I was having a hard time paying attention to whoever was talking because I'm watching what you got going on screen up there in the little corner. So I say that really also to let you know is that maybe that could have been more supportive in your speeches to show a couple of pieces because it was intriguing. I'm from Nashville and I'm like, where is this museum? I'm ready to look it up and I'm ready to go.
We going back. We're coming back.
All right. Sounds good. So my challenge for you is to, how about do this on a regular basis? You show up at on location on a regular basis at places. So maybe you can record more on location videos or have some more on location speeches that support whatever topic you are talking about. Like, for example, I know you're big on reparations. So what if you were on site at some kind of monument space or, you know, so that's all.
I'm hushing now. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mimi. The next person we are going to evaluate is our second speaker, which is Mimi. I will initiate the feedback here. So Mimi also had a didactic speech today. Some of the verses that I've been reading the Bible more lately, and when you mentioned some verses, I'm like, oh, I remember reading that part. Yeah, that's right. I remember when the Lord created water from a rock. I remember that part. Oh, it feels good to know. Hey, I know what she's talking about. I did not know that I believe the Hebrews receive wealth from previous generations. I did not know that. I also liked how you really made it a point about creating how very successful people, they have a group of people, group of assistants to help them succeed. It reminded me when Moses at first tried to do everything on his own, and I think his father-in-law was like, hey, you got to get help from other people. You can't do everything yourself. So that reminded me about that verse as well. I'd say that's about it. At the end, I'd say that's it for now. So Mimi, at the end, I didn't really get a very clear understanding. Was the main topic about forming a relationship with God to make wealth. I wasn't very clear at the end about that, but that's it. So thank you. Overall, it was fantastic. The next person to evaluate Mimi, I would say, is Kim.
Awesome.
I need to interject. We're running out of time, so if you could give 15 to 20 seconds, that would be ideal, and then we could get everybody in.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So Mimi, the motivator, I love the fact that you really put in a lot of work into your speech. You're always motivating. I love the fact that you found some of your information by accident while trying to do while doing your research about the Jews. I just love the information that you provided to us overall. I don't see any room of improvement. Like I said, when I grew up, I want to be like you. So it's kind of hard for me to critique the master. But anyway, good job. Thank you for keeping us motivated and keeping us inspired and pouring in so much information. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Kim. Next person will be Miss Janet. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate Mimi's talk. Some of the things were familiar, some weren't. And my favorite part, I don't have any critiques except that maybe focus on one aspect of the things that impressed you. And that, for me, was ask and you shall receive. I often forget to ask. I think I have to do it. And lately, I've been needing to ask. I haven't gotten any answers that I know of, but I'm asking. And I thank you for your talk. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Janet. Our next evaluator will be Miss Marilyn J. Whenever you're ready.
All right, thanks. I'll say I have never heard the Bible read in that way. So very interesting way of reading the Bible and delivering that, and good vocal variety throughout the speech, so that you kept it interesting as you went through the content. Because again, the content may or may not be content everybody's interested in, but you still keep them interested in what you have to say.
Thank you, Miss Marilyn J. Our last evaluator will be Miss Shanita Lynn. Whenever you're ready.
Yes, Mimi, your speech was didactic in nature. I appreciate all the words from the Bible, so I really appreciated your talk, your speech. You were well organized. The information was valuable. no matter what, help the person see how Bible principles can be applied in everyday life. I enjoyed, you always speak to where you hold my attention. So you definitely held everyone's attention, and I enjoyed your speech once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Shanita. Miss Janet, is it okay if we still go through our functionaries? What would you suggest?
I think we can. We just need to do it with dispatch, and I think that we'll be able to square this away in just a few minutes.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so our first functionary will be our owl counter. Miss Marilyn J., how did we do today?
Yes, very quickly. You guys did so. Now, Shanita, you are the Queen of Oz today. I counted about, I want to say about 6 Oz and a few double clutches. And so I'll just ask you to be conscious of that because you do have a great delivery and presence and all those wonderful things. But those double clutches going to get you, girl. Also, Mimi, you had a couple of Oz. Kim, you had about 5 Oz and some double clutches as well. So just be mindful of that.
We're the Osmonds.
One family I'm not going to join. No. So, and then Arturo, you had an and an So you kind of do this thing. It kind of like sneaks by us a little bit. So I'll say be conscious of that. And Janet, you're very, very good, but you snuck an in on me too, and it was very subtle, but I did catch that. And I caught myself with at least 2 or 3 ahs. You guys probably heard more. I don't know. That's all I have.
Thank you, Miss Owl Counter. Our next functionary will be our grammarian / wordmaster, Miss Mimi. How did we do today?
So on our word of the day, I put a report in the chat box saying Art used it the most, and I will suggest that we all try to use this word for the rest of the day, and thank you all for incorporating it in your speeches.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next functionary will be our timer, Miss Janet. How did we do today?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for Shanita, her talk was 5 minutes and 16 seconds within her range. Mimi was 9 minutes and 46 seconds, so she stayed under the wire. For table topics, Arturo was 1 minute 31 seconds, Marilyn 1 minute 32 seconds, and I was 1 minute and 28 seconds. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Timer. All right, so if I give a final report of the whole meeting, overall the meeting was great. I would say the meeting was 9 out of 10. The meeting was organized. We did the best with what we had. Thank you, Miss Toastmaster. Miss Toastmaster Cam, love your enthusiasm. Great. I just love it. I love how you were great. Just what a Toastmaster needs to have. And a great shout out to Mimi for being able to connect a few more people to our meeting today. Thank you. And I would say, Miss Toastmaster, I would say did not request votes for table topics. Maybe for next time, request those votes for table topics.
She requested. I put my vote in.
Oh, did she? Oh,
yeah,
my
I
goodness,
did request it, and I have a winner as well. So,
my bad. All right. Overall, everything was great. So, back to you, Miss Madam Toastmaster.
Awesome. Thank you, General Evaluator. I really appreciate that. So without any further ado, I know we're running out of time. I'm not going to go into detail, but the winner for table topics today, boom, boom, clap, is Miss Marilyn J. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys give her a round of applause. All right. That wraps it up with the awards. And I, as far as a special guest, thank you, Marilyn J, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And that wraps it up for today. Madam President, back to you.
Thank you very much, everyone. What a wonderful meeting. What a great job you all did. Everyone rose to the occasion It was a didactic, phenomenal meeting with enthusiasm and joy. And I wish you all a splendid, joyful week. And I will see you next time. I will end the meeting with my imaginary gavel. Bye for now. And stay tuned because I think Mimi will be collecting human beings for next week's meeting. But we're done for.
I love the way you put that. Yes.